In this session, I will demonstrate how to create a web application framework. To create a web application, first we have to download the sample project from the GitHub. So here is the GitHub repo. You can download the source code from here, source code for the sample projects. And we will run this project that is based on the Jakarta EE and Bootstrap 5. So I have already downloaded those projects on my machine. So this is that project. Okay, now let me open it with the IntelliJ IDEA. So it is already. This is based on the Java 1.8, and for the project we have to for the framework we have to do some configuration in the project. So this sample project already contains those configurations, but I would like to use Java 16. So we can change the version here, and we also have to change the version in the project structure. Okay, 16 here, so we have to change. Okay, if we click on the package, it will generate a WAR file, the target folder. When I run this script, it will copy that WAR file to the web apps folder of my Tomcat 10. So we can download the Tomcat 10 from the Tomcat website. I'm using Tomcat 10 because we are using the Jakarta EE based project. So the Tomcat is already started on my machine, so using this command. The web apps folder now contains the minimal production sample.war file. So this is a WAR file that is copied when we click on this deploy.sh file. Now let's see this. The Tomcat is started, and this sample project is also running. Now let's see some. Let's do some trials. Let's remove all of this code because it's a bit confusing. Let's make it more clean. Now we have to package that. And then deploy that file. That's all. Yes, you can see the hello world. Now let's try some components. How to create a UI. This framework is like provides the classes for all of the HTML attributes, and so for every tag and attribute there is a corresponding Java class. Using that Java class, if I want to create a button, then I have to write something like this. Because the parent of this button should be the div, the main div. Is a okay. Now I have to give some name to the button. Button. Now it's a button. You can see that. We have the package and then deploy. Okay, but there is no style. To do the style, we already have the styles for Bootstrap 5. So we can use Bootstrap class for styling this button. So let's do that. Components, buttons. Okay, now let's do this primary button. Let's try this primary button. Primary. So this class is a name class that contains the needful classes for the Bootstrap 5. So we can update this one if we want. It is not complete. We can update if we want. We can update this class, this Java enum class. Okay, now it's a primary button. Now let's click on the package and run this deploy file. We can see that primary button. How to handle the event? For example, if I want to click on the button, sorry, if I want to get an event when I click on the button, then I can say something like found click attribute. This will be printed at server side when we click on the button. To see the server log, this is the log. This is the log. Now let's package and deploy. It's deployed. Let's click on the button now. You can see the button is click is printed here. Suppose we want to send some data from the UI. For example, if I want a form submission, how we can do that? For that purpose, Let's say form submit. First of all, we have to create a form. And we have to create an input. Let's create an input. For the form, we also have to define an on submit attribute. This is the on submit attribute. Inside the form, we can create an input. We can create a class like the form control, maybe the post tab in that class control, but it doesn't contain anyway. Okay, so for the form also we have to give the form control class. Now we have to write a submit button. Let's write something here. How to get the data, that is the question now. So to send the data, we have to fetch, we have to give a name to that, this one, this input. Okay. This is what we have to do. So the prevent default true means we should not submit the form to any URL in target. That is why we have passed true here. So I think that that should be fine. Let's package. And deploy that. So the button is not styled. We can give the and we can also say this is required. This element is required. Okay. So let's package and deploy that. You can see the danger button here, and now we will write something here. Okay, that's oh, we have not. Anyway, let's click on that button. I got the data. That is what it is printed here, but the data is not printed. We have to write the code to print that data. There is a data object. Get value of this is the name user. Now let's package and deploy. Now you can see I got the data. The user is equal to some data from form. So this is how we have to. This is how we are submitting a form. We are doing a form submission. Maybe we can try something like we have to reset the form after that, right? In that case, what we can do is we can call the reset of the maybe here we can see the form reset the JavaScript code, or can we can get this element and remove the content from that. So now let's do some other div on the UI. I want to replace this entire form with a div. So how we can do that? In the event, we can get the source tag. So the source tag is the form. The form is the source tag here. So I want to replace it with some div. Tag content this text means we can embed some text on this tag. Now replace with this one. Packaged and deployed. Okay, let's click on the submit button. This is a replaced content. So we can also see that data on the console. So this is the basic idea of creating the UI. And there is a special tag. There is a special class called pair tag content that can embed data on multiple tags. We can also add an attribute on multiple. For example, if I want to reuse the attribute, this one, I can do that. That is not. First, let's give an empty string. After that, let's do something. You can see that that class attribute is added on this text. So that is why when we click on the submit button, the style is changed. And if we want, we can check that in the inspect element. We can see now it contains nothing, right? The class contains an empty string. So when we submit, it is that attribute value is changed, so that value is also applied on this. Okay, let's revert that. Now let's do let's create a h1 tag here. Okay, this is an h1 tag. I want to show content on this tag. How I can do that? I can do that with something like this. What it will do is, when let's remove this one also. You can see that that content is written here, that content is printed here. So let's refresh the UI. So this is the s1 tag. So content, let's submit this content. So that content is embedded here. It is replaced. Now suppose we have multiple tags, s1, s, s2, s3. I want to display the content on all of these tags. I can do something like this. That is one approach. This is one approach. This is one approach. Suppose to get these objects, then how we can do that? So that we have some class called shared tag content. So that can be used to update content on multiple tags. For example, I'm going to embed string content. This is the initial content. So let's make it empty now. And we have to subscribe to that shared tag content. Now let's package and deploy. Now we can see that this is this is another way to embed content on multiple tags. We can also remove that subscription using that, like using this method. So so this is about data content. If we check the methods in the tags, you can understand what methods are available. This is how we can create a UI, and everything is written in Java code. We don't have to write any kind of web services. So that is the main advantage of this framework. And we will learn more about the next videos. For now, bye.